Welcome to the deep dive. How exactly do you bring something like Web3, all that speed, security, programmability into traditional banking, the established, heavily regulated world, without causing total chaos?
Right. It's a huge challenge.
It really is. And today, that's what we're diving into, how these two, well, seemingly very different worlds are actually building a bridge, carefully, piece by piece. Our sources today really zero in on the work happening around Temenos x MetalPay API, Metallicus x Metal blockchain. Quite a combination.
It is. Lots of moving parts there.
So our mission for this deep dive is simple. Give you the fast track to understanding who's involved, what the core tech is, and why these partnerships are so significant for making this connection happen. You should walk away really getting how the old guard, the established financial systems, are building these direct lines to the decentralized economy.
Yep, connecting the dots.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The whole financial world is changing so fast. People want things quicker, clearer, more flexible. So who are the pioneers actually laying the groundwork here? Who's integrating traditional banking with this modern blockchain stuff?
Well, it's really interesting because a key company right at the center of this is Metallicus.
Metallicus, yeah.
Their big picture goal is essentially building a Web3 ecosystem that hits two crucial points. It's got to be easy for people to use, and it has to be fully compliant with all the financial regulations.
The compliance piece is huge in banking.
It's absolutely critical. They're trying to build that foundation for what finance could look like next. And they've got a whole suite of products to do it. There's the MetalPay API, which we'll get into.
Okay.
Digital identity tools. They even have their own stablecoin, the Metal Dollar or SexMD, and really importantly, the Metal blockchain itself. So they're tackling it from multiple angles.
Wow. Okay. That's definitely ambitious, building that future from a sort of Web3 perspective first. But, linking up with the old systems, the legacy tech, that's often the really hard part for anything new, isn't it?
Always.
So how does a giant player like Temenos, someone who's deeply integrated into so many traditional banks already, how do they fit in? Are they trying to build all this Web3 stuff themselves, or is working with a specialist like Metallicus the smarter play?
That's a great question, and it really gets to why this partnership is potentially so powerful. Temenos is, they're a heavyweight in core banking software.
No kidding. Thousands of banks use them.
Over 3,000 financial institutions globally.
Yeah.
But their real strength here isn't just the scale, it's their platform design. It's known for being very flexible, very open architecture.
Ah, okay. Open architecture.
Exactly. And that openness is key because it means banks using Temenos can integrate these, cutting-edge fintech solutions like what Metallicus is offering without ripping everything out and starting over. And crucially, they can do it while staying compliant.
So they don't have to reinvent the wheel. They can just plug in the innovation.
Pretty much, yeah. They can leverage proven new tech through partners.
That sounds like a smart way to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Scale meets specialized innovation. But what are the biggest, maybe stumbling blocks? When you try to connect these two different worlds, is it regulations? Is it the tech integration itself being a nightmare?
You've basically nailed the two big ones. Regulation is, it's always playing catch up a bit, isn't it? So ensuring the tech meets current rules and can adapt to future ones is absolutely vital.
Right. Future-proofing.
And then there's the tech side. You're trying to connect these new distributed systems with banking platforms that might be decades old in some cases. That's not simple. It requires very specific tools.
Which brings us nicely to one of those tools you mentioned earlier, the MetalPay API. What is that exactly? What does it let these banks or institutions actually do? What specific things become possible?
Okay, so the MetalPay API. Think of it as Metallicus' toolkit designed specifically for this problem, bridging Web3 and traditional finance compliantly.
Got it. A toolkit.
Yeah. It lets developers and banks integrate secure blockchain features directly into their existing systems and supposedly quite easily. For instance, it supports on-chain KYC/ML.
Know your customer. Anti-money laundering. Standard banking stuff, but on the blockchain.
Exactly. Baked right in. So compliance is part of the transaction flow from the start. But here's where it gets really interesting, I think. It enables programmable payments.
Programmable payments. Explain that a bit more.
Imagine, say, an insurance payout that only gets released automatically when verifiable proof of the claim event hits the system. Or maybe a payment for a construction project that only goes through when a certain build milestone is confirmed on-chain.
So the payment executes itself based on preset conditions.
Precisely. That's programmable money. Huge potential there. The API also handles stablecoin transfers like their own SexMD and provides these compliance-ready digital identity solutions.
Digital identity, like a secure passport for finance.
Sort of, yeah. A verifiable digital ID that could streamline everything from opening an account to complex international deals. And the whole API is designed to integrate smoothly with platforms like Temenos, so banks can offer these new blockchain services without it feeling clunky for them or their customers. Seamlessly is the goal.
Wow, okay. Programmable payments, easy stablecoin use, built-in compliance, all within existing bank systems. That sounds like it could genuinely change things, especially for speed and cost.
It really could.
So if the Metal Pay API is kind of the gateway or the toolkit, is the Metal blockchain the actual engine underneath it all? Is that what lets traditional banks do things maybe they just couldn't before, or not at this kind of scale? What's the big leap this infrastructure enables?
Absolutely. The Metal blockchain is the foundation. It's the core infrastructure layer built specifically for this kind of secure, innovative, large-scale use that banking demands.
Okay, what's special about it?
Well, technically, it's built using elements from Substrate and Avalanche consensus, which, for the listener, means it's engineered for flexibility. You can set custom rules for different financial products and also for massive scale. It's designed to handle potentially millions of transactions reliably.
Scale and flexibility.
Got it. But the key characteristics are, it's regulatory first. Compliance isn't bolted on. It's part of the fundamental design. That's huge for banks. It's also EVM compatible.
Meaning Ethereum developers can work with it easily.
Exactly. It taps into that huge existing pool of talent and tools, which should speed up innovation within the regulated financial space. And another really important bit, it supports public, private, and hybrid chains.
Why does it make it important?
Because a bank might want to run super sensitive internal stuff on a private chain they totally control, right? But they might also want to connect to public chains for things like broader access to liquidity or interacting with other decentralized applications. This lets them do both, get the security and the openness where needed.
Best of both worlds, potentially.
Yeah, right. And it's all built to work with tools like Temenos, enabling that vision of secure, programmable money moving easily across borders. The sources really emphasize its focus on being a secure, innovative blockchain, using things like biometric transaction signing and providing a full digital asset integration solution.
That sounds incredibly robust, particularly with compliance baked in. But, there are a lot of blockchains popping up. What makes this combination, this Metal blockchain integrated via Temenos, the one institutions might actually bet on? Are there downsides, maybe trade-offs for all that security?
I think the main selling point is that specific blend. The regulatory first design combined with genuine interoperability and EVM compatibility. A lot of other blockchains are maybe too Wild West for banks, or they're so locked down they stifle innovation. Metal blockchain seems to be aiming for that sweet spot.
The middle ground.
Exactly. Offering the control banks need, but still enabling the new possibilities of decentralization. The trade-off? Well, like any major system upgrade, the initial integration can be complex and costly. There's always that hurdle. But the argument is the long-term payoff in efficiency, lower costs, and totally new products makes it worthwhile.
Right. So let's bring it all together. What does this collaboration between Temenos and Metallicus using the Metal Pay API and the Metal blockchain really mean for you, our listener? Why does this actually matter in the bigger financial picture?
Well, fundamentally, it matters because it's about building that working, practical bridge. Temenos and Metallicus together, they're creating a viable path for traditional, regulated financial institutions to connect with and operate within the decentralized economy.
So it's not just theory anymore.
Exactly. This isn't just tech for its own sake. It's aimed at solving real problems like how slow and expensive cross-border payments can be for businesses. Or enabling completely new things, maybe letting you own and trade fractions of real estate, tokenized directly through your bank account, things that sounded like sci-fi not long ago.
Okay, so tangible benefits.
Yeah. The end goal is a financial experience that's secure, fully compliant, but also much more user-friendly and powerful because it's ready for Web3. It's really about creating financial tools that are compliant, user-focused, and truly programmable. And that has the potential to seriously evolve the whole landscape.
So we've taken a deep dive today into this convergence of traditional finance and Web3. Really fascinating stuff, driven by Metallicus, their Metal Pay API, the Metal blockchain, and that crucial integration with core banking leaders like Temenos.
It definitely is, and it brings up a really interesting thought, doesn't it? As more and more banks start using these Web3 technologies, how might the actual definition of traditional banking change over, say, the next 5 or 10 years?
That's a big question.
Could your regular bank account eventually become, a gateway to a much wider, more dynamic world of digital assets and automated financial services? Maybe even a more personalized financial universe for you.
Something for you to definitely think about as you watch this space evolve.